All right, let's jump right into this really powerful idea. What if healing isn't something we have to fight for, or force, or even earn? What if it's actually our most natural state, a process that we just need to learn how to get out of the way of? Today, we're going to explore a huge shift in perspective on what it truly means to heal.
So, the source material we're digging into today, it kicks off with this incredibly stark statement. But it's not meant to be a downer. It's more of a simple recognition, a wake-up call. It's a hook that asks us to just pause for a second and think about a fundamental part of our own existence that maybe, just maybe, we've lost sight of.
So you gotta ask, how did we forget something so fundamental? Well, a huge part of it is the story we tell ourselves. Our first section here explores that dominant modern narrative of healing, the one that frames medicine and even life itself as a constant grinding war.
I mean, think about it. Our entire system is built on this idea. Just look at the language we use, right here on the screen. Hospitals are fortresses. Pharmacies are sentinels. It reveals this deep-seated mindset of defense, of fighting against nature, of seeing our own bodies as some kind of territory to be defended from invaders instead of, ecosystems to be tended.
And this slide, wow, it just lays the contrast out so clearly, doesn't it? On one side, you have our language, fighting, conquering, defeating. It's all the language of conflict, of force. But then you look at nature's way. It's not a battle, it's just a series of quiet, inherent processes. Wounds simply close. Bones knit themselves back together. Life is always moving toward wholeness.
So, if healing isn't a battle that we have to win, then what is it? Well, this brings us to the absolute core idea we're exploring today, that we've mistaken the assistant for the master. So let's meet the original physician.
And here it is. This is the crucial flip. We tend to think of medicine as the active thing, the agent that does the healing. But according to this perspective, the true physician is life itself, that innate intelligence humming away inside every living thing. Modern medicine, it's an unbelievably powerful and necessary servant. It's a tool that removes obstacles, but it is not the source of the cure.
And this breaks that proper order down perfectly. Step 1, an obstacle shows up, an injury, an illness, whatever. Step 2, medicine assists. A surgeon aligns the edges of a wound, an antibiotic clears out an infection. But look at step 3, that's the main event. Life heals. A surgeon doesn't magically knit skin back together, the body does that. All medicine does is create the right conditions for the true physician to do its incredible work.
To really let this idea sink in, all we have to do is look at the world around us. The natural world is just packed with these beautiful parables that teach us all about this deeper kind of healing.
I absolutely love this example. We humans get so stuck on the idea that healing means going back to exactly how we were before. But the leaf teaches us that sometimes healing is about letting go. The tree is healed by releasing the leaf, and the leaf is transformed into nourishment for the soil. It's a completely different way of defining a positive outcome. The forest fire takes this concept even further. We see devastation, right? But the ecosystem sees a necessary cleansing. There are some pine cones that literally cannot release their seeds without the intense heat of a fire. It suggests that some of the most painful, destructive experiences in our own lives, well, maybe they aren't just things to get through. Maybe they're the necessary preconditions for something entirely new to grow.
And this might be the most powerful metaphor of them all. A caterpillar doesn't just sprout wings. It turns into a soupy liquid inside the chrysalis before it reforms as a butterfly. We all want the wings, but we want to skip the liquefaction part. Nature tells us that this complete dissolution of the old self, as traumatic as it may be, is sometimes the only path to real transformation.
Okay, so these are beautiful metaphors, but how do they apply to our actual bodies? This next section is all about learning to listen to our bodies and to reinterpret their signals. Honestly, this chart is a game changer. We've been taught to see these things as enemies to be silenced. But what if inflammation is just the body's emergency services rushing to the scene? What if a fever is a brilliant defense strategy? And pain, what if it isn't a punishment, but a clear message, hey, let's not go this way? And grief isn't a disorder, it's the psyche's way of metabolizing loss. They are messages, not malfunctions. This is such a profound point, it just stops you in your tracks. We think of our vulnerability as a flaw, a weakness, but this reframes it completely. Our ability to be hurt and our ability to heal are two sides of the very same coin. A body that couldn't bruise or swell couldn't repair itself. A heart that couldn't feel grief couldn't feel love. Our vulnerability isn't a design flaw. It's the very feature that allows us to recover and grow. So this brings us to our final and most fundamental question. We've explored the how of natural healing, but now we need to ask why. What is the actual point of being healthy anyway? No, seriously, just take a moment with this question. It's so simple, but we almost never stop to ask it. We're all chasing health, but for what? What's the ultimate goal here?
And this is just a brilliant way to put it. Health is not the end goal in itself. It is the instrument that allows us to live. We don't get healthy just for the sake of being healthy. We get healthy so we can love and create and serve and experience the world. Health is the violin. A full life is the music we play on it.
And this is where we can get trapped in what the Source calls the tragedy of endless tuning. We become so obsessed with perfecting the instrument, optimizing every metric, tracking every variable, that we forget to actually play the music. We start treating our bodies like a complex project to be managed, instead of a lifelong companion to be befriended on this journey. And so we end where we began, but hopefully with a totally new understanding. This isn't about rejecting medicine or ignoring our health. It's a call to shift our perspective, to move from fighting to allowing, from controlling to collaborating. It suggests that this incredible innate capacity for wholeness is already within us. It's not something we have to build, but something we simply have to remember how to receive.